Now, if you're a fan of Shashi Kapoor, Pooja Talwar now tells us where to go for everything you want to know about that enigmatic star, or at least, Pooja, where and what to read?
Well, Sarah, absolutely. Just need to pick up a book that's aptly titled Shashi Kapoor, The Householder and the Star, written by noted film journalist Aseem Chhabra, who's with us in the studio. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, Pooja.
And I love the title, The Householder, the Star. He was a committed family man and quite the star and the poster boy of charm.
And we also played with The Householder because that was his first sort of international production, although it was made in India. It was 1963, black and white, a lovely black and white
Absolutely,
film.
with Leela Naidu. And he was the first crossover star. Now, these days we focus on Irfan and Priyanka and Deepika, but Shashi Kapoor was actually the first international star.
Which is true, and there was no social media, no internet in the 60s and 70s, and so people really didn't keep track of, unless he did act in a film like Siddharth, and people are more obsessed about Simi's nude scenes than that. But Shashi really was the first crossover star, and after that he acted in a bunch of films in Europe, in England, and really loved doing that kind of work while he was doing his Bollywood masala films also.
Absolutely, the James Ivory movies with James Ivory, and talking about Bollywood, he also managed to straddle commercial cinema as well as parallel cinema.
Well, what happened was that, Shashi was a reluctant actor actually. If he had had his choice, he would have acted in plays only. But unfortunately, he got married early, the kids were born, he had to support his family, and so he started taking films, and he did films like Char Diwali with Nanda and then Dharamputru with Yash Chopra. He initially didn't want to even sing songs.
Absolutely.
But then as his career took off after Jab Jab Phool Khile and Pyar Ka Mausam and Sharmili, he very happily walked into what the commercial cinema was. But he always had a desire that he wanted to do something different. And that's why when he started producing films, Junoon, Kalyug, 36 Chaurangi Lane, those are really strong quality films in the late 70s, early 80s, Utsav, Vijayata.
Yeah.
And he acted in many of them. He was terrific in Kalyug and Junoon, while he was doing the same time some Subhash Kai film or something like that, or Namak Halal.
True, and something that his grandnephew Ranbir and his daughter Sanjana have said is that they wish that he had experimented a lot more. He had done a lot more cinema, that he just didn't do too many movies.
Which may be true, but he also started experimenting. After his wife died in 1984, it was a huge devastating sort of loss for him, and he started drinking and he put on a lot of weight. But some of his best work was done around that time. He did New Delhi Times, which is the only film he got a national award for, Ramesh Sharma's film. He acted in a film called In Custody, which was Ismail Merchant's first film about an old Urdu poet and who's got two wives, Shabana and Sushma Seth. A film called Sammy and Rosie Get Laid, which was never released here, which was scripted by Hanif Qureshi. So he actually was at that time willing to do all sort of like experiments, in cinema away from, and while he was still getting some Bollywood work.
And also talking about the SHASHITABH phenomenon, he was an actor from lead star, had no problem playing second lead to an emerging star, Amitabh Bachchan. They did like phenomenal movies together and had quite the bromance on screen.
They became very good friends. There's a story I write about when they were shooting Trishul and they were staying at the Oberoi Intercontinental in Delhi, and there was only one discotheque in Delhi at that time called Tabela. And Amitabh was still much younger, although he had done a bunch of strong films. They would go the whole night dancing at Tabela, and Amitabh talks about how Shashiji was a very good dancer. They would dance through the whole night, and in the morning then Yash Chopra would suddenly drag them to the set without, they wouldn't have slept through the night. They became good friends while they were acting together also.
And what is it that struck you while you were researching on him, speaking to his co-stars? I mean, the women, even including me, swear by, he was one of the most good-looking actors. Sharmila Tagore says that his eyelashes had her distracted. What is it that struck you about him as an actor, the legend of...
What's really amazing by Shashi Kapoor is he was truly his father's son. He got all his training initially through Prithvi Theatre. And Prithviraj Kapoor was very keen about that anybody who starts acting or you have to start from the bottom. And Shashi, that's how he learnt his way in theatre, then acted with his father-in-law's company called Shakespeareana. And so everybody I've talked to, including Pam Chopra, Yash Chopra's wife, Sharmila, they all tell me that Shashi would actually walk up and he would be the first to arrive on the set. He would walk to every technician, he would walk to every makeup man, shake hands with them, say, "Mera naam Shashi Kapoor hai," sit and have chai with them, as if they didn't know who is Shashi Kapoor. He was the most democratic actor, treated everybody alike, whether it's a big star or like a junior level sort of technician. And that's an amazing quality that doesn't exist in Bollywood these days.
Absolutely. As they say, they don't make them like him anymore. And thank you so much, and all the very best with the book. So Shashi Kapoor, The Householder, the Star, is quite an interesting read. Do pick it up.
Thank you.